This week's Torah reading is called Bamidbar, which means in the desert. And it gives the beginning to the fourth book of the Torah, which is also called Bamidbar, in the desert. And it basically relates all the traveling of the Jewish people from the land of Egypt into being in front right away before going into the land of Canaan, to transform it into the land of Israel. Now, many times we explained that the Torah is not just a history book. It's not something that relates and tells us all the happenings that happened to the Jewish people, whatever, etc., etc. Rather, it's a teachings book. The word Torah comes from the word hoira. And we have to ask ourselves, according to this, what's the hoira? What's the teaching in the fact that the Torah tells us all the happenings in the desert? What do I care? People are not found in the desert anymore. Those people that actually lived and passed through the desert, etc., they already passed away. So what's the teaching for me right now in these times? One of the ideas of a desert is that there's no man living over there. That's the definition of a desert. It's actually desertic. Nobody lives over there. And that idea is not just a physical thing. It also refers to a spiritual thing. A person might live in a place where it feels like a desert, or a person might feel himself or herself just like a desert. What does that mean? Just as we explained that the definition of a desert is that there's no man over there living, when we talk about men, we're not just referring to regular human beings. We're also talking about, quote unquote, the man. That means God himself is also called man, so to speak. And when we say that a person lives in a desert, it means not just it doesn't live, not that it lives in a place full of sand, etc., etc. Rather, he lives in a place where God is not revealed. Every one of us lives in such a place because we are in Golus, in exile, and we cannot perceive God with our own eyes. And this is what actually means the coming of Mashiach. The Messiah means that we're going to see God. What does that mean? I don't know, but we're going to see him. Even the flesh is going to see God. But right now, nobody sees him. Maybe some righteous people, tzaddikim, okay, they can see. We, regular people, at least me, regular people, I can't see him. And I want to see him. So that means we are in exile. We are in a spiritual exile. We don't see God. But it doesn't mean not that I don't see God, rather that the place where I live, it doesn't feel like a holy place. It doesn't feel that I can express my connection to God because my neighbors, because of my whatever, my family, whatever the case is, it's very difficult to feel connected to God in such a place. Or maybe within myself, I feel that I have so many things to fix within myself that I can't feel connected to God. I can't really enjoy the good things that I do and think they actually connect me to God. Even if I do good things, I just don't feel connected to God. I live, quote unquote, I am myself in a desert. I live in a desert because of the place where I am, my surroundings, and I live myself in a desert. I feel like a desert. One might think that there's no way to change this, no way to fix this. A desert is a place where man is not found. Quote unquote, God is not found. Comes the Torah and tells us, wait a second. In every single place where the Jewish people traveled in the desert, Bamidbar, the name of our Torah reading, and the whole book, fourth book, in every single place where the Jewish people traveled, they built a Mishkan, they built a tabernacle. And the tabernacle was a place where the presence of God was revealed. In other words, the function, the mission of the Jewish people traveling through the desert was to reveal God in every single place, even in the desert, in a physical desert, in a spiritual desert. So each one of us, we have to be conscious, we have to know that in every single situation, physical situation or a spiritual situation where a person is found, his function is to reveal God. How do you reveal God? By saying a psalm, by learning Torah, by fulfilling the commandments, each one of the commandments, 613 commandments for Jewish people, 7 commandments and ramifications for non-Jewish people. By doing this, which is the message that God has for the whole humanity, for Jews in one way, for non-Jews in a different way, by doing this, we reveal God in every single place, even in a material desert, physical desert, or a spiritual desert.